Black to the garden. Yeah. Spunk brown on the mound. Now mind your herbs like you mind your business. Black to the garden like it's eating. Can I get a witness? Growing hard and now we eating about that health and fitness. Health is wealth, work the land, producing natural riches. Urban gardens in my hood with spaces limited. Had game from ancestors, now we flipping it. Irregardless of our set sides and differences, we all eat and hunger is our common nemesis.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mind Your Herbs podcast. I'm your host, Tim. With me, as always, is Big Strong Mighty Steel from Big Steel Farms. How you doing, Big Steel?
I'm doing great.
Hey, that's good news. Today we have we're doing a special interview on the sugar to our biomass Kool-Aid mix with Miss Erica Plants of Pleasant Hill Co. How you doing today, Miss Erica?
Hey, I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good.
So what's going on? What we talking about today, Tim?
Man, we talking about you. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You sitting there trying to ask me questions. The questions are on you today. So, first, how you doing? Let's get that out the way first. How you doing today? Let's make sure we for sure got that question answered.
In all neurodivergence essence, I'm here. I'm popping. I'm moving. Hopefully, overall though, I'm doing really well. Really excited about everything going on.
That's good news. So now I guess we can dive into you. What inspired you to even get into gardening?
I got into gardening on strict desperation. I just knew there had to be more. There's just no way that this much was just changing for me with my wounded warrior, who's a veteran and combat disabled vet. And then myself, every time we were going to the hospital, they were steady stacking on medicines, but none of those medicines were fixing anything. And you'd say it doesn't work. And instead of you saying, well, let me at least try a new medicine, you go and double the dose. You double the dose of the thing you already doubled that wasn't. So at what point do we realize that this is a waste of my time? And so I kept hearing my mom say, well, but we ate everything as a kid and none of us died. Now all of a sudden you just always died of cancer. And I look back and my mom's neighborhood, the childhood neighborhoods we still go, it's persimmons, there's pear trees, there's pecan trees. They ate all that. Her family had a garden in the backyard. She talks about how her stepfather could grow anything, but that you knew Mr. Johnny who grew those sweet potatoes. You knew Miss Sue with the collards, and you knew what was on it. It wasn't coming from through 10 states and all. And so one day I was just like, I'm gonna start me a garden. And then finally one day it just seemed like it was the perfect time, and I started a garden.
That's pretty cool.
Very inspirational. Very inspirational. Why do you think now is the perfect time for people to get into, growing their food and stuff?
Why not now? The quote says the best day to plant a tree was yesterday. And the next best time to plant a tree is today. That was the best time. Yesterday was the time, and the next best time is right now. But this is planting trees. At this current moment, we're living in this system where we don't trust anything. We don't know if the government lied to us. We don't know if the media lied to us. We don't know if our next door neighbor or our man lied to us. What you ain't got to worry about is that food that is recession proof and something that you need every day lying to you when you grow it yourself. If they have messed up as much as we've seen them mess up through the government for everything else, how could you trust them to manage the food?
That is fact. It's all facts.
You know what I mean? You can barely see. We can't see COVID by the unburned eye. We can't see listeria or anything else either, though, y'all. Grow your food. Have that job, that security. Have that control. Because when you go to the grocery store and they tell you, no, you can only have one thing of eggs, baby, it hit different if it's 10 people in your family.
Yeah, definitely. That's wild. I remember that during COVID. It was sad. That and that toilet paper.
Yeah.
Listen, this gonna always be my thing. That is the number one reason you should be growing food. I will never forget how y'all acted about that toilet paper. I say this about once every 2 months on TikTok, and they laugh their butts off. But baby, y'all acted like that about something that you didn't even eat. Can you imagine if the food really ran out, how y'all would be acting?
Word.
Facts.
Mm-mm. Y'all act like that about water, gas, and toilet paper. You could use a tree. You could use a lot of things. So no, yeah, grow your own food.
Word. What would you say is your personal mission? Because it sounds like inspiring people to grow their own is your mission, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
So yeah, grow your food. Grow food is my mission at the end of the day. I have plantandheal.com. Plant and heal like Netflix and chill. Plant and heal. You're gonna plant something, you're gonna heal something. I don't care if it's your sleep, your body, your mental health, you're gonna be grounded. Something is getting healed. Your soil could be being healed. The pollinators, something's gonna get healed. And what our quote here is, we teach you how to grow with what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got clay, baby, you can grow food in there. I know people like, I got clay soil, I can't grow. Yes, you can. Baby, if clay soil was so bad, then how is half of the South and Georgia so enslaved? They seem like they was turning a profit. Like, so how is clay so bad now that it wasn't before? No, you can grow in clay. You can grow in sand. You can grow in a raised box. If you don't have no apartment with no window, you can grow on the counter. You can grow in a grow light. There's 8,000 ways. But whatever it is, I don't care if you just get the bag of soil and grow out of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut a hole in it, drop your seed in it, and let it grow. Grow with
Word.
what you got.
I love it. When did you start planting Hill, and what made you decide to start selling seeds?
Okay, so I was always gardening under influence, and I was gardening under the influence of sunlight, y'all. Good energy. I was like I said, grounding and peace and learning things about pollinators. And I realized that I was healing. Like, my sister was murdered in 2020. I healed that out there. I miscarried too. Like, when I first started gardening I didn't start gardening in 2019. And right after I started my first set, y'all, and it was doing real good, we left. We had an evacuation, and I left for Houston. And I was asking my husband for proof of life, and the life wasn't proofing. It would get to like the third picture, and then y'all, it would go blurry. And like, no, bro, I know you're not using a phone. So I got back, and it was demolished. And
Wow.
at that same, and I cried because I lost that. My garden with my new rescue dog they were done. He had dug up everything. And I cried out there. At that same time, I was like miscarrying. And between healing myself of being out there every day, planting, growing, learning, observing, giving myself time to be still and see things, like, it made sense to me. I am at a completely different level of focus. Like, even how I respond to people is different. Planning something healed a lot of parts of me. And I'm seeing so many other people have that same experience. And so you plant something, you heal something. And that's how I got to plant and heal. It's just that simple. When you plant something, you heal something.
That's like hearing all of that is like extremely inspirational, and it tells a lot of different things about you and your character. But what would you say would be one thing that you would say is your personal strength?
I'm resilient. I'm
That's a
resilient
good
and
word.
I'm flexible. Those are the words. I'm not strong. I'm resilient. Kind of like a palm tree. Like, I was down in Florida recently and looking at people saying that palm trees are the strongest trees. And you see them and they be leaning and but they still make it. They lean this way, they lean that way, but they've learned to go with the wind and strengthen and fortify themselves in that process and keep going. So yeah, I'm resilient and I'm flexible because I feel like that's nature. Every day the weather changes. Every day is a different day. You can't go with what you did yesterday and expect it to work the same way.
Right.
Facts. Straight facts.
It would be nice if it did work like that, but it don't.
Okay, but it would be boring for my ADHD and autism. Like, listen, but my pattern recognition be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home. I already know how the day go end.
Definitely. What is can you explain to everyone what 4-H is? Like, because a lot of people don't know exactly what that is.
Okay, so I started off with 4-H. It's a 4-H ambassador in Kentucky. From there, I went to Georgia. I taught extension for about a decade between being a program assistant, an associate, a resource manager, and so on and so forth. And my son was a state level public, a 4-H person. But 4-H stands for 4 parts. It's your head, your heart, your hands, and your health. And so each part is for one thing. Like your head is for clearer thinking. Your heart is for greater loyalty. Your hands are for larger service, community service, and your health is for better living. So for all of this stuff at the end of the day is for like the whole community. Like it even tells you that for my club, my community, my country, my world. We want you to be thinking clearly. We want you to use your heart and understand the environment and the community and be a part of the team. But also take care of yourself. And we do that at Extension, which is cooperative extension across this country. Every state has its own cooperative extension through land grants in whatever state they're in. So like Texas would be University of Texas, Georgia is University of Georgia. If you're in the 1890 states, HBCUs, sometimes you'll find one partnered with it. So like in Florida, it's FAMU. In Georgia, it's Fort Valley. And they have their own extension as well, based on the history and how there was just so much mistrust back then of advice being given. Yeah. But extension overall, it's a great resource of ag and soil sciences and community service and youth leadership and even family and FNAP, where they go into like even the projects and well, I won't say the projects, but the housing areas and teach them how to save money and prepare healthy foods within a certain budget. So all those resources matter. But yeah, 4-H is my biggest one. It's where my heart is. Youth leadership, youth engagement, civic engagement. The kids are the future.
Right. What would you say are some other resources for people that may need help with knowing, okay, this is going to be good soil, this is going to be a good resource to gain knowledge and everything like that?
I think you should go if you look in your community, usually on Facebook or something, there is a backyard gardeners or local farmers group one. Extension for sure, because they'll tell you and point you in the right directions. You just have to understand that anytime we deal with a government agency that's giving out information, 9 times out of 10, the information is a little outdated for the simple fact that they had to do research for a few decades to get to this point to be able to release this stuff at a safe level. So you always got to take it with a grain of salt because they are more geared towards your big farmer versus the little person and what the inputs and all are. So you always take that into account. But you also have other organizations like in Georgia, we have Georgia Organics. That's great. You can just reach out to the USDA website, new farmers, and ask the FCS, the Farmer Service agency, or if you got a farm bureau in your area. Farm bureau, is like top tier, all the behind the scenes information that you never knew you wanted. I'm at that Facebook page like, wait, y'all got an award for you too. Oh, I want to go to that. And another great one is NIIAA, which is National Women's and Agriculture Association, with this headed by the great Dr. Tammy Grace Steele out of Oklahoma, but it's an international chapter. They have several states, and then they're across the place. And they even have men chapters as well, y'all. But she has great chapters across this country where you can tap in quickly. I know like Waco, Texas one in Central Texas is bomb. The one in Atlanta, Georgia, baby, they be everywhere. So definitely there's resources out here. And you can follow me as well.
Wow. You just put out a lot of great information. You put out stuff that I didn't even know about. Like you just I love you like a walking encyclopedia. You're like you just full of knowledge. Like you just open you up and you just give out all the knowledge and information. I love that about you.
All that information in your head.
That's the problem with me. Look, you just read everything and studied everything, but it's also fun. That's why I love doing what I do. It's why I teach online, because people need to know the actual information, not just the feelings or look at this is my results, but this is the inputs and how I got here, and this is my philosophy on what we were doing.
Facts. I
Word.
love that.
And that's a great way to help people learn, is like actually seeing it in person, or seeing it even if it's not in person, because sometimes everybody ain't gonna be all the way in Georgia or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're making sure that everybody can access this information from you is is superb. You definitely keep doing what you're doing. Please, please, please. We need more of this.
Definitely do.
Totally.
Definitely do. So, what does the future hold for Planting Hill, Cole? I know I heard you talking about the grant earlier. Can you tell everyone about the grant and some of your future goals and plans?
I can't talk about the grant yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
No, it's no, but actually there's more than one that I've applied for myself as well. But there's so much coming. So at this point, what I'm trying to do at Plant and Heal Co. is right now we are a partnership with Liberty Landscaping Supply, where I have set up this discovery farm here for us to teach people how to grow their own food, as far as, and just right now we're just setting up the model of them seeing that it is doable, and do it in different mediums. So like I'm here right now, but at the same time, what we want to get to is accepting the SNAP and the EBT, as I stated before, so that people can come here and get their plant starts, one, for affordable price, and two, without any awesome things like Miracle Grow in them that will suppress things in their soil. So you know, I'm gonna be quiet on that one. But for the EBT purposes and all, and SNAP purposes, they can also come here and learn how to grow their fruit trees, how to plant them, how to do their berries, how to grow their medicinals. Anything that is edible and produces food is SNAP eligible. So that means that no, your ashwagandha will not be SNAP eligible, but your tomatoes will be.
I love it, man.
Oh yeah. And so that's the main vision right now. And also going to the rural communities and doing CSA boxes, so that they, even if you're in a food desert or apartheid, maybe I can't set up in every city, but I can show up once a month and give you an affordable box of food and sell you some seeds and show you why I'm there too, how to grow your own.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, like, you know, we all in the industry of growing, so hey, we all got to walk that talk, baby. You know, and I love it. I love what you got going on, walking that talk. Cause we got a lot of people out here that be talking, but they don't be doing no walking. So,
word, word. That's for sure. That's for sure. I think it's also cool that you're making yourself available, which I really like that as well. So definitely keep doing that. In case people don't know where to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on all platforms, Gardening Under Influence, at Gardening Under Influence. And that's gardening, GARDENING, under influence, like farming, like driving under influence. And also you can find me at Plant and Hill. And on any platform you can't find either one or remember anything, if you do a hashtag Plant and Hill, I will pop up, baby. But yes, that's where I'm at. You can find me teaching on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and my own private group. And we will soon be having a farmers link up every Sunday for a chat, because farming can be lonely, y'all. Yeah, and we're all loners. And this is, even if it's just a 20-minute touch-in where we just talk about what our challenge was this week, what we planted, and what we're waiting on harvest, you know. Just a little motivation to hear the actual other farmers' voices.
I love it. I love it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, and if you have any questions for me, you can always call me at 8558 Garden.
Let's go. Let's go. Even with the phone number.
I love it.
Definitely.
That's pretty cool.
So, Tim, what is the strain of the day?
Ooh, glad you asked. So the strain of the day brought to you by Cardinal City Cultivation. It's Goji OG, aka Goji OG Kush. Excuse me. Now this strain was bred by Bodhi, and it crosses Nepali OG with some snow lotus. It's a myrcene dominant sativa strain that is going to give your palate. It's going to take your palate on the parade with a lot of flavors of strawberry, red berry, blackberry, Hawaiian punch, all of that. So make sure if you do find it, do your research. Reach out to your local dispensaries or your local caregivers to get you some of that. It is super tasty, super yummy, and it's definitely going to help you with your mind, your body, and your soul to get you all good to go.
Wow.
So what's the herb of the day, Big Steel?
The herb of the day is good old eucalyptus, right? So eucalyptus clears mucus from your lungs. It can be used as a bug repellent. It disinfects wounds, and it can help with asthma and your sinuses. And Miss Plantin Hill, what is the plant of the day?
So the plant of the day today will be Peruvian yellow ginger. It is way more healthy than the orthodox ginger. It actually produces twice as much in the same amount of time. It's twice as spicy, but it also has like 6 times as many nutrients of the different benefits of it. But very good for appetite, for ingestion, for weight loss, for sleep, and even acne. So yeah, get you some ginger in your life, and you can check that out at plantinhill.com, while we have our medicinal sale going on right now with that and the comfrey and several other things like the toothache plant.
That's cool. Well, this has been quite an amazing episode of the Mind Your Herbs podcast, diving in with Miss Erica Plants, finding out what she's up to, what she got going on, where you can find her and everything like that. Please feel free to follow her at Gardening Under Influence, and also Plantin Hill Co. Visit her website. Also, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow Mind Your Herbs podcast on all streaming platforms. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Got my hands in this rich black soil, breaking ground for a kingdom that's royal. Be fruitful and multiply, that's word. I'm in the garden just minding my herbs. Elder said that we reap what we sow. Planting heirloom seeds, watch them grow. Enough talk, we taking action like birds. Be the family, hope you mind your herb. There's no business like grow business, oh no.